Here we are, brother. Ike Reeves, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, Spike Lee. Listen, it is Friday. I got my seatbelt strapped on because, quite frankly, I'm ready to roll somebody's ass up right now.
Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
Jack.
Chiefs.
It's going to be Jack.
Game day can't get here fast enough. Sunday, 6:30, the Eagles will be kicking off down in New Orleans against the Kansas City Chiefs. Jackie Baseball, I don't give a damn how much closer we've gotten to opening day. Lock in. Sunday, 6:30. Holla at your boy.
I don't even care about baseball today.
Yeah!
Screw the Phils.
Yeah!
They choked last year.
Yes.
A real winner reestablishes itself Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty thick, you later on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank
you
you.
got to.
48
Today's the
days.
day.
48 days.
No, stop it.
No, I can't wait. I can't
So
wait.
today
Sir.
is our final football Friday of the season. It's
Well,
a big
welcome
one.
back to Philly, too.
Yeah,
Good to
oh,
be
By the way,
here.
I mean,
It is good to
back
be here.
home.
Oh, we got the New Orleans stench. I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can breathe again.
unbelievable. No wonder they all got sick.
Yeah.
I was home for 4 hours. My whole nostrils cleared up.
Yeah. Well, there's a thin coat of some liquid always on you when you're in New Orleans. I don't know if it's sweat. I don't know what it
It's
is.
something.
But it is something. So it is definitely good to be home. I got home last night. I was like, man, I miss New Jersey. It was the first time I had ever said
First
that.
time you ever said
Yeah.
that.
So it's a big football Friday. Elliot will join us from New Orleans at 3 o'clock. Tornado Shapiro's game day forecast
Oh,
at 3:30, even though it's in a dome.
Doesn't matter.
Even though it's in a dome.
People are traveling down Spike. They got to know.
Yeah, Nick Costos will join us around 2:40, give you your pick for the Super Bowl, so on and so forth, top 5 at 5. Tommy from Down the Shore returns. It's a big show. So on the show today is an on-the-record Friday.
That's right.
Before the Super Bowl. So for you and for us, everyone must go on the record with what they think is going to happen on Sunday. So 215-592-9494. And before I ask you to go on the record for what you think is going to happen
Hold
on
on,
Sunday.
real quick.
Yes, sir.
We changed my microphone head.
Okay.
You know, I normally carry my own,
Yep.
and it's red. So
Oh,
I can
yeah,
distinguish it from
bad
that.
sign.
Wow.
Yeah, can't do that.
Don't like that.
Can't do
so
that.
make sure I change that.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
Again, red's fine.
No, red's not fine.
Red October.
not
It's
today.
not baseball season.
Yeah.
Red's not fine right now. Okay, I'm ready, Spike. What
Okay.
you say?
So before you
Get the hell out of here, Dave.
before you go on the record with what's going to happen, I just want to set up the stakes
Yes.
for everyone.
Go ahead.
Because the Super Bowl is the biggest game. We
Some
know.
say.
Yeah, and
Hit the breaking news out.
yeah, but so we know what the stakes are in the general sense because it's the Super Bowl. But what is at stake in this game is not just the Super Bowl. First, history is at stake, as the Chiefs are going for the first three-peat in NFL history. And it would come at the expense of the Eagles. In fact, 2 of the 3 Super Bowl wins for the Chiefs would come at the expense of the Eagles. The greatest coach in Eagles history would make history at the expense of the Eagles.
Yeah.
So for national, there is a lot at stake. But there is a lot at stake for the Eagles. Because what is at stake for the Eagles is the thin line between greatness and the team that just can't get it done. A win means we are in 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, but have a championship and a future that looks bright with a QB in place, young defensive stars, and a head coach with an impeccable record. But a loss means that maybe we're the team that just can't get it done. And then there's questions about the head coach and questions about the quarterback. And all of those things on top of free agents this offseason. We don't know who's going to be back. We don't know if we're going to get another season like this from Saquon. There is a lot on the line on Sunday. A win, the future looks bright. The present looks even brighter. A loss, and who knows what we're looking at. So with that, Ike Reese,
Yeah.
it is your time to go on the record.
Well, this is what I'm excited about. And you're right about what's at stake there when you're talking about legacies and how someone's sort of career will be shaped. And it's not just for Coach Sirianni. It's not just for Jalen Hurts. There are several other players that with a win Sunday could sort of put them in the pantheon of greats when you're talking about being in Canton, Ohio. Lane Johnson, Saquon Barkley, right? Saquon Barkley with a win Sunday. Now he's rightfully mentioned in that class of greatest running backs. arguably the greatest individual season any player has had, going from one year to the next, especially when you're talking about switching teams. Jalen, 2 Super Bowl appearances under his belt with a potential win also on his resume. Now he's vindicated and validated as an elite quarterback, in my opinion, in this era of football. So would Nick Sirianni be as an Eagles coach. And they rightfully deserve that. Howie Roseman with potentially his second Super Bowl championship with a 3rd appearance under his watch, since we know what happened years ago with Chip Kelly when he was removed out of his position. Those guys all have a lot at stake. I didn't mention one guy, and I saved him for last, because we don't often talk about Jeffrey Lurie, the owner. This would give him his 2nd championship.
Yep.
What Jeffrey Lurie has done since he purchased the Eagles, right? Since he purchased the Eagles, he has basically lifted the Eagles into one of the, I know we don't like to use the term gold standard, and maybe it was used a little prematurely 20 years ago. Now there's a legitimate argument for it when you have multiple trophies in your case. We know it's not the ultimate gold standard. You have 49ers, you have Patriots, you have what the Chiefs have done, the Steelers, all those guys have won 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls. I get that. But what Jeffrey Lurie has done under his ownership, and particularly in the last 25 years, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 8 conference title games, right? How many divisional titles does he have? He has put this organization in a class with the other elite organizations in the NFL. And to have another trophy, in his case as a 2-time Super Bowl champion, I think it solidifies this Eagles organization as one of the premier football teams of the millennium. That's where the Eagles deserve to be. The winning record, the consistency of winning, all of those things are there. The great coaches, the great players that have come through here, all of those things are there. But people will say, we only got one. Yeah, that was in a lightning in a bottle type of a year.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah. This one, I think it validates everything else that this organization has done since the turn of the century. And, again, this is where we rightfully deserve to be as an organization, as a football city, with those other cities that have multiple trophies in their case. So I actually put that out there as one of the top things as well.
God, that was beautiful.
It was.
Appreciate it, bro.
Well done. You're pretty good.
So who's going on the record first?
Me.
Go on the record.
So here's what I'm looking at Sunday, and I got to be honest with you. I've been waffling back and forth on how this thing was going to go. I mean, I've had 2 weeks to think about it, right? You get a little bit of information about this team. You get a little information about your own team. You try to break down the matchups, all of those things. And I really do respect the Kansas City Chiefs. I do. Obviously, I love Big Red. You know Patrick Mahomes, arguably the greatest to ever do it. But that doesn't matter. What the 2024, 2025 Eagles have been about has been about complete team. They embody what it means. And they are the best team. They are the better team of these 2 teams. And I think come Sunday, it's going to be on full display. Not in some dominant fashion. I'd be more surprised if that happened. But when they control this game and you see that the Chiefs just don't have enough, I think the viewing public will then get a chance to appreciate what we've watched all year long, which is a young defense that took the league by storm to become the #1 defense in the league. We had the #1 player in the league in Saquon Barkley, who didn't get the MVP love that he should have gotten. Shout out to the Offensive Player of the Year. But you're going to see it Sunday. And then you're going to see what the quarterback does that makes him elite. And it separates him from a lot of other quarterbacks in this league, some of your favorites. You're going to see him do what needs to be done late in this game to bring the win home for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it may not be pretty, but that final score is going to look good. 27-17, Eagles win Super Bowl 59. We get our second Vince Lombardi trophy.
Ike Reese is on the record.
Beautiful.
All right.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Oh, boy.
G-L-E-S-E! Eagles!
There we go. We'll talk to you Monday. No, just kidding. We got a whole show to do. All right.
Whole show.
I, too, have gone back and forth on how this game is going to play out. I said it a bunch of times that I think what I'm sure of is that the Eagles are going to play well. What I wasn't sure of is how I think it plays out and how it ends. Because they do have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, one of the greatest head coaches of all time, who always find a way. In the end, I think this ends up being a game where the Chiefs are always playing catch-up, but we never feel comfortable, right? We'll go up by 10, and they'll cut it to 3. We'll go up by 6, and they'll cut it to 3. And I think ultimately this game looks like an Eagles game that we've seen all year. We'll go back and we'll look at the stats, and it'll look like maybe they've dominated the football game, but we won't feel the entire game like we've dominated the football game. I think in the end, Saquon Barkley is going to have a good game, but it'll be one of the toughest games he's played. It won't be one of those games where he's running all over the place. You know, he will have to earn what he gets. I think the Eagles are going to have to earn this win. But in the end, I think they are the better team. They are the more talented team. They seem focused. They seem ready. My final score, Eagles 20, Eagles 29, Kansas City Chiefs 20. Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Wow,
we're happy on Monday.
You guys are getting close to blowouts.
That's not a blowout. I said
that's a
never,
9-point win. That's not a blowout.
I say never feels comfortable. Never feels comfortable.
Sure, but that's like a convincing win. That's not down to the wire.
No, it is down to the wire. The Rams game was down to the wire. The Packers game was down to the wire. They both, the final score looked convincing.
And quite frankly, I think it's 20-17 in the fourth quarter. And we do one of our 4-minute drives to where we eat up a ton of clock, and we get the final touchdown to sort of seal the victory. So it's a tight game, but then that final drive gives us the game-sealing touchdown to give us the cushion that we need.
And truthfully, Jack, I can't in my heart predict a 2-point win because I will faint.
Sure.
I will have a heart attack. Something bad will happen if it's that close. So
Sure.
I can't handle that. Jack, time to go on the record.
So I'm not going to put it as eloquently as you two have.
Yeah.
Thought you did a great job. But how I feel is they're not losing. Like, I think it's going to be tight. It feels different. It feels different. And you listen to them, they sound different than being here after going through what they went through a couple of years ago. And what I like, too, is there's a lot of guys on this team that won a national championship in that building. Like the Devontae, Jalen, he was there.
Yep.
And then some of the Georgia kids. So, like,
he actually got them there.
No, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, not over the top. But
it's always him.
I'm just talking the truth. But I do not get the sense that they're losing this football game. I think it's going to be tight, though. I think it's coming down to the wire. I don't know if it's offense or defense getting the big play when they need to. But I'm going 24-20.
Okay.
24-20.
Not bad.
Decided late. But they're not losing. I feel very confident they're not losing this football game. And I did not feel that way after last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago.
Don't like Spike's score. It went over. 48.5 is
There
the
you
total.
go. There you go. Got to go over.
But Jack kept it under. I appreciate that.
Are you an under guy for this?
Yes.
One? Man, who bets
Defense.
unders? Who bets unders?
Life's
You
too
got
short.
first of all, you got 2 of the top 4 defenses scoring-wise in the league.
Yeah.
The number 2 and the number 4 scoring defenses in there.
Well, then Jack's got your back on that one. I don't. All right. It is On the Record Friday, 215-592-9494. You got to go on the record with what is going to happen on Sunday in the Super Bowl.